You know what you can't stop? Progress. Hello, everyone. Hello, babies. Welcome to Progress with Parker Duque and friends. I'm Parker Duque. Here we are, another episode. Thank you, everybody, for all the texts. They make my day. I love that you are finding the show funny. I don't know if you guys watching this noticed the new intro, but that's a regatta in Lake Kalamazoo, right down the street from where I'm sitting right now here in Saugatuck, Paradise. The Kalamazoo River actually kind of widens right there, and they call it Lake Kalamazoo. It's not much of a lake, though. It's only like 4 feet deep in some spots. But on Saturdays, they set up a course for regattas. Now, regatta is a fancy word for racing sailboats. And everybody watches the regatta on boats outside the course, which is where I was filming that. But there's always some clueless person on a giant, really expensive pontoon boat that just barrels through the course without any regard for the kids' race or safety. And that's what's happening in that video. And that's my buddy Steve, the hammer, chasing after them in the rib. You see him at the end. That guy is half of a legendary team around these parts. But it's kind of a funny video if you understand what's happening there. And you were probably thinking that's great story because that was great, but it's not. Although our that's great story for this episode does happen in that same lake, Lake Kalamazoo, a little bit further up. It narrows into a channel that goes out to the big lake, Lake Michigan. We call it the big lake. Well, there's a spot over there where you can have drinks and watch the boats go by. And it's right next to a boat rental place. And this boat rental place rents these things called donut boats, which are pretty much what they sound like. It's just a big round boat that literally looks like a donut, complete with fake giant sprinkles, but seaworthy. Some of them have umbrellas, kind of neat, but, novel. They don't go anywhere fast. They just putz around Lake Kalamazoo. Well, more often than not, the people that take them out aren't boaters. And so some pretty entertaining stuff happens. Anywho, we were having drinks next to the rental place. And this lady was trying to bring her donut boat back in, except she was like 30 feet out from the dock. And she just kept going around and around and around. These boats are literally round, which is not a great shape for a boat, for navigating a boat. But this lady, she's going around and around. She's driving her friends sick. She's just going in circles. And then she'd overcorrect. And then she'd go around in circles the other way, 30 feet away from the dock. She wasn't going anywhere, just in circles. This went on for 20 minutes, no kidding. The whole time, this kid from the boat rental was trying to guide her into the dock. It wasn't the owner, who probably would have been a little bit gentler. It was a kid employee who was just on the brink of losing it. Poor kid. This was an impossible task. Anything she said, any instruction she gave to this donut boat had no audience. She kept saying, "Please, let go of the steering wheel. Ma'am, do not touch the steering wheel." But the lady who's driving, she couldn't help herself. She turn it to the left, and turn it to the right. Her other passengers were yelling at her, but she just kept going. It was amazing. I honestly had no idea how long it took to get them in, but it went so long, we would take breaks from talking to check on the donut boat lady. Eventually, a giant dude who couldn't take it anymore threw him a rope and pulled him in. It was incredible. Isn't that great? Ma'am, please let go of the steering wheel. People can be complicated. Listen, I needed to tell a quick That's Great story because I have an amazing public service announcement that I'm going to share. And this is for all the new parents. It's something that I wish somebody would have told me before I had a baby. And let me be clear, and I'll say it again, nobody told me this. I had to figure this out on my own, the hard way. So, we were at a dinner with a group of people, and we were talking about what it would be like to have a baby right now, later in life. And this is going to surprise you, but I got bullied a little bit. Everybody kind of looked towards me and said, "Hey, Parker, what would you do if you had a crying baby handed to you right now? How would you handle it?" Honestly, I was a little bit offended. Am I being singled out because I'm a part-time moron? I was a dad once 3 times. I was good at it, too. I remember the drill. And I told those bullies what I'd do with that crying baby. Blew them out of the water. Their jaws dropped, hanging on the floor. Because you know what? I would crush it right now as a dad. My vasectomy might argue with me. But now I know how to do it. I know how to dad. And I know the 3 reasons a baby is crying. And this is my public service announcement. This is what I thought would be very worthwhile to share. HUT. H-U-T. Hungry, uncomfortable, tired. It's pretty simple. It's one of those 3 things. So you want to know what I told those bullies? I would say, hand me that little baby, that little crying baby. When was the last time he was fed? Is he hungry? If so, I would love to give him a bottle. If he's not hungry, did he just eat? Maybe he's uncomfortable. Maybe he just needs to burp. And as luck would have it, I'm an expert burper in all ways. Then I'd feel his diaper. Maybe he's got a full diaper. That can't be comfortable. So if I got to change his diaper and it's a he, put my hand up so his little unit doesn't spray me. Change the diaper, happy baby. If neither of those are the problem, he's probably tired. And that's the great option. Because then I would have you point me to a great couch with a TV in front of it. Put that little guy right on my chest. Let him fall asleep right there. There's nothing better than watching TV with a little sleeping baby on your chest. Yeah, you're right. You're probably thinking I would crush it again. I agree. Okay, so to revisit, the 3 reasons a baby cries. HUT. Hungry, uncomfortable, tired. Send that to somebody who's about to have a baby. I know it seems easy, but it would have helped me out. All right. First things first, we have to start this episode off with a tremendous debt of gratitude to my good friend, Doug S. from Saugatuck. Why? Why don't I show you? Let me tell you why. Why don't I show you? That's right. If you're listening and not watching, I'm showing our viewers a box of full-size Butterfingers for me. Can you believe that? When I was a kid, I would have dreams that somebody gave me a box of grape bubble yum. And when I woke up, I would be in the best mood until I realized it was a dream. Finally, it's not a dream. How do you even buy a box like that? Those are the regular size candy bars. Well, Doogie knows how, and he hooked your boy up. Left a cryptic message for me that I needed to be the first one to find a cardboard box he had hidden on our back porch. Huge, huge thanks to you, Doug S. from Saugatuck. You are a gentleman, you are a scholar, and it is my honor to be your friend. All the Butterfingers are gone now, sadly, which reminds me of a story. Once when I was a little kid, I found a whole bag of Reese's peanut butter cups. I was messing around in my basement, and I find this bag hidden, and I'm like, wait, what? It was a giant bag of individually wrapped Reese's peanut butter cups. You know, the kind you get for trick-or-treating? But we were a couple weeks past Halloween already. Did my mom buy these and forget about them? So naturally, I took them. I hid them in my room for a couple of days, sweating the entire time, just waiting for my mom to say, hey, has anybody seen my incredibly valuable bag of Reese's peanut butter cups? And I'd say, okay, yeah, I found them. Here you go. Can I have a couple? But when she never asked, are you kidding me? She bought them, hid them, probably from my dad, and forgot about them. At the time, I felt like it was the greatest thing that had ever happened to me. I thought those Reese's peanut butter cups were going to last me for the rest of my life. I couldn't wrap my head around how many Reese's peanut butter cups I now owned. They were individually wrapped, which made it seem like there were even more of them. And the first couple of days, I was like a drunk sailor. I was handing them out to friends like it was nothing. And they were like, really? And I was like, man, you don't even know. There's more where that came from. Got pretty popular for those days. Obviously, with that cavalier attitude, pretty soon my bag started getting thin, and I panicked. So I had to cut off my friends. I lied right to their faces. Told them I was out. But then I had to pay for that lie. Didn't think that through, because then I couldn't eat them at school. Can't eat them on the bus. Just in my room. I could only eat them in my room. Greedy me, alone with a dwindling number of Reese's peanut butter cups in an empty bag. And I could see the end. It was right in front of me. And then when it was just that last one in that big bag, it was incomprehensible. How did that happen? Days ago, I was swimming in Reese's peanut butter cups. Man, bummer. That's when I learned the hard life lesson. Stuff runs out. It may seem like you have a lot, but whatever it is, it'll eventually run out. And you gotta find some more Reese's peanut butter cups. But again, thank you, Doug S. And to be clear, if you're listening to this and you think sending me a box of full-size Butterfingers will get you a shout out, you're right. You're correct. Keep them coming. Okay. This is the GLP-1 episode. I'm not on GLP-1s, but I know quite a few people that are. And if you are using GLP-1s, I just want to say, good on you. Good for you. This episode is dedicated to all you, the GLP-1 users out there. Hats off to you. I just wanted to let you know I think it's great. And I think there are a ton of people like me. We are happy for you. I hope it's working. I hope if there are side effects, they're manageable. And I hope you feel better about yourself. You should. You're putting in the effort. Don't let anybody make you feel like you aren't. I 100% support you. I continue to be shocked when I hear like GLP-1s talked about in like a hushed manner, like there's something wrong with it. Or God forbid, it's cheating. What the heck? What's wrong with somebody trying to make themselves better? If you don't know what GLP-1s do, I'll oversimplify it for you. They give you the ability to tell your brain, hey, I'm full. It's cool if we stop eating. And the hunger stops. A lot of people don't have that. That's what you might not understand. Fortunately, I have that ability naturally. And I am so incredibly lucky that I do. What if I didn't? Would I have the discipline to stop eating even when I still felt hungry? No way. No way. Who's good at being hungry? Not me. It's a miracle drug. It's a great thing. If you're making fun of people who are using GLP-1s, stop. Just stop. It's a terrible look. You're probably also making fun of people that use hearing aids, right? Are they cheating? Taking the easy way out? Remember my quote from Kurt Vonnegut? There's only one rule that I know of, babies. God damn it, you got to be kind. Sorry for swearing. Kurt, would you make fun of an out-of-shape person that's exercising? No. They're working on it. Encourage them. We need to turn this boat around, people. We need to be happy for other people's successes. What a novel concept, right? When somebody does something good, cheer for them. It's a good look. It's refreshing. And if you're one of those people that are giving GLP-1 users a hard time, this is an opportunity for you. Remember when I talked about being honest with yourself, how it makes things better? Give that a shot. Try it for shizzles and giggles. I'm not being a smart aleck. Nobody has to hear you being honest with yourself. You can do it in the privacy of your own head. So it doesn't matter how embarrassing or even petty the answer might be. You can tell yourself the truth. But ask yourself, why am I giving this person grief? Is it for using a GLP-1 or is it for something else? And you'll be surprised to see that how much better you feel when you fess up to the truth. And you know exactly why you're upset with that person, especially if you're being petty. I can't explain it, but when you admit to your pettiness out loud, it almost always goes away. It's hard to take pettiness serious when you hear it out loud. Now, I will qualify this. If you're already skinny and using a GLP-1, well, That's a whole nother set of issues, right? That's too complicated for this show. But just lay off, people. Give my Jeep LP1 people, give them a breather. Stop the nonsense. Why do I feel so strongly about this? Because, my people, we need all the help we can get. And when I say my people, I mean Americans. Americans who eat snacks. Not the healthy eaters, the snackers. Well, I guess the healthy eaters are kind of affected. So I guess in a way we're all under attack. What are we under attack from? The most delicious food and snacks in the world. Let's just generalize this and say America as a whole, the cooks in our kitchen, America's kitchen, some of the most talented people around. And their goal is to make food so delicious that we can't stop eating it and we become obese. And they're halfway there. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been in the trenches. We don't stand a chance. Our food engineers are so good. We have the most delicious snacks in the world, hands down. How do I know? Because nobody uses artificial stuff like we do. We engineer stuff that tastes better than anything that's naturally occurring. It's a science. They teach it in schools. They've made snacks so good, they're pretty much addictive. I don't know what the food engineer's real titles are, master chemist maybe, judging from the ingredients list. But I'm talking about the geniuses who made the flamin' hot spice for Cheetos. It's so delicious, they've put it on everything. I wouldn't be surprised to see like flamin' hot yogurt come out. I'm talking about the masterminds who figured out how to make an endless amount of delicious syrup from corn. I'm talking about the folks that make ice cream that tastes like ice cream, but it doesn't melt. The candy people that make sweet and sour pucker candy that turns you inside out. Delicious, these people. Now, did I notice I didn't mention healthy one time? No, not even close. We haven't let health concerns slow us down at all. In fact, I think the healthcare industry is probably in on it. I used to think people were being paranoid, but now I'm not so sure. Because all I see from them is like, seriously, guys, stop. We keep, making too much money. Please change your lifestyles. Consider it at least. Because again, these profits are suffocating. Yeah, they're all gunning for us. And they're not going to stop until we're obese. Don't believe me? Go to the cereal aisle in any grocery store. It's a happy place for someone like me. And look at the evolution of Captain Crunch, a personal favorite. You started out with just Captain Crunch. Then they added berries. Huge upgrade. I would eat the yellow cereal first and then save the berries for last. Then they brought out Oops, all berries. Are you kidding me? If that wasn't enough, they started selling it in big family-sized boxes. Now, they sell big bags of it. Like you would buy horse feed. Giant bags of name brand cereal. I always touch it because I want it so bad, but I never buy it just out of principle. Do we really need access to that much cereal at one time? A giant bag of Captain Crunch? And let me say one thing, and this is important. I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm here to support you. And I am particularly qualified to speak on this topic because I am a snack expert. And as I mentioned before, I'm addicted to sugar. And I have a deep, long history with snacks, specifically sugar-based snacks. And, I'm not one to brag, but I will from time to time. If there was a snack magazine back in the day, I'd probably be in a lot of them. I helped Hostess. I helped pull Hostess out of bankruptcy. I was a big part of the sweetest comeback. So I'm not pointing fingers. I am a food engineer's dream customer. You probably have been thinking to yourself how incredibly sophisticated and mature I come across. So it might surprise you that I'm actually the human equivalent of a very, very well-trained bear who once, back in the day, caused quite a bit of havoc on the snack scene. Ooh. Back in the day, I was a sugar bear. I was in real estate. I was all over Atlanta and in every single market. Sugar Bear had a honeypot, which most people call a gas station. It was either a Quick Trip or a racetrack, or depending on the market, a little mom and pop's gas station. The dirtier, the better. Those guys had all the off-brand snacks like the Mrs. Freshly's cupcakes. Wrap chips. Wrap chips are incredible if you can find them in the South. So delicious. So anyway, I had a gas station for every outing. No matter what part of the city I was in, I would grab a bottle of Coke, a Rockstar energy drink, a sleeve of donuts, or maybe some other little Debbie treat, and then a bag of chips. Little Debbie's was a value option, still is. Life was good. But then when my wife took over the finances, one of the things that I didn't think about was my paper trail. Quick Trip, Chevron, Racetrack, Arby's, Quick Trip, Chevron. Not good. My wife eats super healthy. I do not. It has been the biggest source of stress in our relationship, hands down. She is largely responsible for the taming of the aforementioned sugar bear. Poor thing. She is my GLP-1. My training was difficult, but the timing was right. We had little kids. My metabolism was slowing down. I was starting to get the dad bod, like 215, 220 pounds. And here's more honesty for you. Why I won't be judging anybody. If she hadn't intervened in my life, if I had stayed on that sugar and fast food trajectory, I would have type 8 diabetes by now. I remember early in the transition, she announced to friends that I had an eating disorder. I had no idea what she was talking about. I literally had to put down my taco to say, what? And she said, you hide your food. That's a sign of an eating disorder. Okay. Yeah, I hide my food, but that's only because she throws it away when she finds it. I think that's just me being practical. Let's say you have a delicious box of Snack Planet chocolate donuts and you eat 2 of them right out of the gate, and there's 10 left, and you'd like to eat the rest of them eventually, so you put them up on a shelf for later. Do you know what's going to happen to those donuts in my house? Gonzo. Hey, honey, where are my donuts? Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen any donuts. Why are you buying donuts? So what do I got to do to eat the rest of those donuts? I got to find a place where a certain somebody is not going to find them. That, to me, seems more practical than a disorder. I'm open to it, but I think she's barking up the wrong tree. What happened is she found a family-sized box of Twinkies in the trunk of my car. Is why she brought it up. Crushed them. Do you know how mad you got to be to crush 14 Twinkies? She largely leaves me alone now. I think I've fatigued her past the point where she feels like she's doing anything productive. It's been a war of attrition, and now I think it's just something she puts up with. But I also don't eat nearly as bad as I used to for two separate reasons. One, because I'm a COVID long hauler and it's affected my taste buds, where I can taste the chemicals in processed foods. Isn't that ironic? The very stuff that makes it incredibly delicious now makes it not taste good to me. And then two, you know what's stopping me? The pricing. Are you kidding me? I go into every gas station whenever I fill up. I can't help it. Most of the time, it's just to look at what's out now. Like sea salt Twix bars. Are you kidding me? Come on. It's like recreation for me. I don't even pick anything up now. You know why? $4. $4 for a king-size candy bar. Are you kidding me? My own people are pricing me out. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about is my Miracle Veggie Smoothie, because that's another public service announcement I think is worth sharing. It literally changed my life, and I'm talking about this at the end so you can skip it. You can just take off if you're not interested. I get it. Thanks for listening, watching, whatever you did. My wife isn't just a healthy eater. She's an incredibly talented health coach, and she's really good with people, and she's very informed. And much to my chagrin, I am a living case study for her talents. She cracked the code on me not eating vegetables, and that's what I'm going to talk about here. She bought me a Vitamix and made me a veggie smoothie, which is the greatest thing somebody can do for themselves. Because until then, until I had that first smoothie, my body hadn't eaten a vegetable probably since I left for college. It was desperate for some nutrition. I remember drinking that first smoothie over the kitchen sink because I thought I might spit it out. Not even close. It was great. It's magic. I have a fantastic recipe that has magic in it. It makes gross vegetables taste okay. It didn't happen easy. My wife made me promise to go see an annoying Vitamix guy who had set up a demonstration at our Whole Foods. And after I saw him, and his little fast food drive-in microphone, my resolve to not buy a Vitamix was greater than ever. Plus, $450 for a blender. For a blender. But it wasn't just any blender. And my resolve to not buy one was ultimately steamrolled by my wife's desire to fix my diet. She knew it was worth it. So we bought one for $450, and as usual, she was right. It was fantastic. Changed my life. Now I do AG1 because it's easier, and I still don't eat vegetables. But here's what I put in the smoothie. Maybe I'll do a video with exact measurements. Maybe not. But you got to start with a liquid. You have to have some kind of liquid. And do not use orange juice. I know it's delicious, but it's orange juice is all sugar, and it defeats the purpose. Just trust me. I use flaxseed milk. I know, sounds gross. It tastes gross too, but it doesn't matter. It's high in omega-3 fatty acids. Then I grab a handful of spinach and maybe a leaf or two of chard, pulling the stem out. Both of those, gross, but healthy. Then a couple of peeled baby carrots, which are exceptionally gross, but really healthy. Then if you want to go nuts, you can peel a beet and throw that in there. Beets, while being exceptionally gross, are incredibly healthy for you. And so by now you're saying, geez, sounds like a lot of gross, healthy stuff. Good catch. Now comes the magic. These 3 fruits erase all the grossness, and I'm not joking. It's amazing. Some frozen blueberries, decently tasty, very healthy. Then some frozen or fresh pineapple, very tasty, very healthy for you. Then you finish it off with 1 or 2 bananas. And even if you don't like bananas, the pineapple and the blueberry cut the taste of everything. And all 3 of those guys make all the gross go away. It doesn't just taste okay. It tastes great. It's cheating for picky eaters. I lost 10 pounds after I started drinking those. I had a buddy ask me what I'd done to drop the weight because his doctor had told him he needed to do something to lose some weight. So I told him about the Vitamix and the veggie smoothies. I remember, like me, he couldn't get over the price of the Vitamix, and I'm embarrassed to admit, I think I actually parroted that annoying sales guy from the Whole Foods when I told him, you need a heavy blender for this type of thing. So maybe a month goes by, and I'm walking down the sidewalk, and he's also my neighbor, and his wife is outside working in her yard, and she says, have you seen Chris lately? And I said, no, why? He's been drinking your smoothies. And so out walks Chris L. from Atlanta, 20 pounds lighter, looking ripped. I was like, my man, you bought a Vitamix? And he's like, no, you idiot. I used a regular blender. It works perfect. We own 2 Vitamixes now. All right, that's it. Appreciate you watching this, tuning in, listening. Seriously, can you tell other people about this? How do I get this out there? Do you guys have followers? Can you send it to them? I don't know how to help me with this. You can reach me at parkerduque@gmail.com if you want to reach the show. Hope you're doing well. You know what you can't stop? Progress.